Diogo Dallo, you have got to score that. You've got to. Oh my goodness, I'm so frustrated. That is my feeling today. Absolute frustration. Oh, we just huffed and puffed and puffed and huffed, and I've seen it all too many times, man. When's the last time we scored in the league? When is the last time? I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. Norwich. Was that the last time? Really? It can't be. Can't be. Norwich. At the beginning of January. Oh, God. Yeah, man. Missed a chance again. Missed a chance to close the gap on Chelsea. Story of our season so far. Yes, it's finished. Man United 0, Wolves 0. We play Wolves so many times. And I think we've only beaten them once in like the last 6 games. And that was in the FA Cup the other day. Like, yeah, I mean, you can either say they've got our number, I guess, as the weaker club. But in terms of quality on the ball, and especially in the first half, they were the most dangerous side. They looked like scoring. They were the one countering on us and creating all the openings. And really and truly, we have to be a bit satisfied for the first half that we didn't go down. We didn't go into halftime 1-0 or 2-0 down, because they had a lot of openings, but they couldn't. The final ball, the final shot, the decision making, whatever it was in the final third, they didn't really test the hair, really. You know, the few shots that went wide and the final pass was off, but we just looked. Well, I mean, it's the story of the season, really. Story of the season. Void of ideas when we get to the final third. Dan James, poor Andres Pereira. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he's so poor. He's so bad. He's so bad. He takes too long on the ball. He gets the ball, and he doesn't make a decision quick enough. And when you take that time on the ball, where you've had an age to process what you're going to do, to then go and still make the wrong decision. How does that work? If you're trying to do everything quick, wrong pass, I wasn't, I should have looked up. But you get the ball, you look up, you take it forward a bit, and you still make the wrong decision. Whether that's to keep running and you lose the ball, or you pass to the wrong person, or you just make a bad pass. He's so bad. I mean, the first half, Bruno Fernandes, of course, he makes his debut, so all eyes on him, and he started. I mean, we've seen some formations that it looked like maybe he was going to be in the midfield too with Fred, with Pereira in front. Obviously Pereira, Mata and James behind Martial, who didn't have a great game himself. Great first half anyway. I mean, he didn't have a great game himself, but the first half, he really struggled. But Bruno Fernandes, he's playing in the number 10 position. Nobody can get the ball to him. Nobody can pass between the lines from the midfield to the attack. And that's what we struggled with all season. Nobody can make those forward passes. I know at the end of the first half, Bruno had the most touches, most passes, most shots. And of course, he therefore misplaced more passes than anyone else. But because he had the most passes. Like, he was actually trying every ball that he generally, obviously not every ball, but majority of the balls that he was trying to play were always forward. Wherever he was on the pitch, he was trying to pass forward. I can't say the same about everyone else. Too many safe passes. Way too many safe passes. Every time you got the ball, and sometimes you're like, maybe you should have played sideways because the forward pass wasn't on. But the intention was clear. And that intention is not there from enough of our players. In the second half, there was a bit more urgency. I guess, less time in the game, so more urgency. But why can't you start the game like that? Wolves sat back a bit deeper, so we were really the only team pushing in the second half, and Wolves wanted to catch in the break, and they didn't really get many opportunities. But there was a couple tricky situations which we dealt with, none more so than Jimenez, where he broke onto the right hand side of the box and he had a good shot which the head tipped over. But other than that, they didn't really trouble us in the second half. But we were doing the pressing, and I use that term very loosely because we weren't really pressing. There still wasn't enough urgency. There was more. There was more than the first half, but that says more about the first half than it does the second half. And it was just frustrating. You know, Wan-Bissaka's game, attacking game improved in the second half. He got past his man to the byline, got in a few crosses, which we weren't able to finish off or get on the end of on some of them. But the intention was there, which you're thinking throughout the first half, why are you not? Go past your man. You're quicker than a lot of these. Go past your man. The confidence maybe ain't there. I don't know. The instruction's not there. And that only comes around in the second half. I don't know. But second half was better. If we start the game like that, if we start the game how we played the second half, we'll win more games. I'm not saying the second half was great, but you'd win more because you're in the opposition's box more. You're taking shots. Like I said, the first half, Bruno Fernandes was our most direct player, the one trying to actually push forward and make something happen, which of course is his role. But it just shows the deficiencies in the rest of the team when he can't be the only one to do that. He really can't. And it's a shame because Matic was suspended from because of the red card he got at the EFL Cup. We didn't have a midfield two, which had been playing well recently. And I feel, even though Matic himself does dwell on the ball sometimes, he still likes to pass the ball forward when he can. But because he wasn't able to do it, and Pereira's so bad, in the second half, Bruno's dropping very deep, very deep. And I understand why he's dropping deep. I don't know if it's instruction to do so. Maybe it was. Maybe it was an instruction. Again, it's not, I'm not going to say it was a bad instruction because the ball wasn't getting to him. So if we even need to get the ball forward, someone has to do it. Now, if you had two Brunos on the pitch, one who can play in the central midfield and one who can play in attacking midfield, number 10, then you can get the ball to him. But no one could do that. So he has to drop deep and he has to pass the ball forward. And that's not his best position. So it was just frustrating. It was disjointed. A few chances late in the game. Greenwood had a shot which took a deflection. I thought it was going in. Wrong foot of the keeper. But it took two deflections. The first one of Bolly, which was taken away from the keeper, and it then came off kind of Cody, which took it back towards the keeper. There's a few times we got to the edge of the box and we're just dithering and dallying and not taking the shot. Yeah, and it was. That's why the game. I was just frustrated throughout the game. I was just frustrated. 15 shots, 5 on target. I'm just saying 64% possession, 558 passes in the game. But how many of them were forward? Other than Bruno Fernandes, how many of those passes were forward? And yeah, he didn't have a perfect game. He had a great game, but bearing in mind he had one training session, been in the country for 48 hours, never played with his teammates before. He was still our best player on the pitch. Fred did his job. I'm not gonna lie, Fred did his job. But because of the deficiencies in the midfield, we're asking more of him than he's able to give. So we need someone in that midfield who can pass the ball forward, who can break the lines, and he's not great at doing that. But then that shouldn't be his role. But we're just lacking in the squad and in the ability of a lot of players. But Fred did his job. I'm not gonna lie. Wan-Bissaka said he got better in the second half. Luke Shaw did well. Against the pace of Adama Traore, he beat him at the beginning, and you're thinking, ooh, in for a long night. But after that, Adama Traore didn't really he had these moments, and Luke Shaw would, be professional, getting a shoulder barge or block off or anything. Well, he coped with him well. Wasn't a masterclass in defending, but he coped with him well. Maguire, Lindelof was a bit shaky at times, but Maguire was good. He had actually a chance to score. I think it was a very good save actually from, Patricia ran out very quickly as the ball dropped to him and blocked out for a corner. There was one moment actually where Maguire made an error. I think it was a free kick. I think it was Martini or Neves put it in, and he was looking at Bolly and he blocked off Bolly's run. And I don't know, I think they were doing it zonal, but he blocked off Bolly's run anyway. And Saiz came in and had a free header. Really should have scored. If we're being honest, should have scored. But other than that, no issue. De Gea was solid. Pereira poor, Dan James poor. Mata wasn't great. Martial, I guess you could say he's lacking service, but in the first half especially, the ball, he's just not holding up well. He's not linking up well. Got better as the game progressed. It was just frustrating. Neither team deserved to win. Based on the first half, Wolves were better. Based on the second half, we were. And then right at the end, you think, we're going to get one chance. We're going to get one chance. And you're hoping it falls to Martial or Greenwood. And it falls to Dalot. And it's, Wan-Bissaka beats his man. Good piece of play right at the end of the game. Beats his man. Whips in a cross. And falls to Dalot in the 6-yard box. And I think he adjusted himself to where the ball... I think it's like he's going to overrun it. He has to kind of suddenly stop and kind of lose his balance or slips and tries to direct a header into the bottom corner just past the post. That was the game. That was the game. But if we scored that, we would only have deserved it based on our intentions to win in the second half, not because of how we played. We didn't deserve it. And we didn't get it. So we've dropped down to 6th with Sheffield winning earlier today. Still level on points with Wolves on 35. Spurs are a point back in 8th with we play Man City tomorrow, and we're still 6 points off top 4. So that's the situation. 2-week break until we play again. Play Chelsea, which is a must-win game. If we're being completely honest, a must-win game. We need to close that gap. Definitely can't. If we lose it, 9 points, game over. Top 4's gone. Focus on the Europa League. If we win it, completely game on. If we draw, then it's just like, same old, isn't it? But yeah, as I said, it obviously was Bruno watch. Everyone and their dog would have been watching it, whether it's Man United fans, rivals. Of course, rivals will be looking at it. I'm sure they'll have some banter about passes, misplaced, etc., etc. But as I said, when you're actually trying to make the forward passes, the ones that's gonna break the lines and the decisive attacking passes, you're gonna misplace some. And when our movement is poor and just the cohesion between our midfield and the attack is poor, that's gonna even be exasperating. But you hope that come 2 weeks from now, a few people back from injury, the likes of Matic. I'm not sure how far McTominay and Pogba are away from getting fit. But even if we just get that midfield, 2 solid midfielders in there, and allow Bruno to stay in that number 10, and when he was there, he looked dangerous. He picked up spaces just off the defenders in between the midfield and defence. Had a couple shots. I think there was one in the first half where it was a snap, the ball came across and he took it first time, and I think he could have actually took a touch and had more time to, direct exactly where he wanted to hit it. And we know how dangerous it can be. He had a couple of shots actually just went past the post. He had a free kick from a little way out, to be fair, but still tested the keeper. So yeah, I think you can see what he can bring to the team, but it's so clear that we need so much more in a team. We need so much more. We're lacking width on either flank, whichever way you want to climb. We're lacking width. Mata's coming inside, so that you have to hold back Wan-Bissaka's making the overlap. But Mata's coming inside. Pereira wants to be inside. Just too many. Obviously, Fred is in the middle. There's just too many people in that middle. Martial drops deep. And as I said when I do my announcement, Bruno Fernandes announcement video, he operates best in that number 10 position when there's a width. So the wingers need to stay wide. He needs to be able to pick up the ball in space. If everyone comes in the middle, then it's going to be crowded. It's going to be a bit more difficult. He didn't have to drop deep and find other positions, which he did well, but you take away from his best attributes. And when he found the space, you saw that he's not afraid to make that pass or make that shot. But yeah, disappointing draw at home. We respect Wolves. We do. You have to respect Wolves and what they do. But Man United at home against the majority of oppositions, I still expect to win. I don't care. My expectations are still there. I expect to win. There's a couple teams, Liverpool, Man City, in reality, where I'd say understandable that we don't win the game. I'm not going to any game, especially at home, expecting to lose, but you say it's understandable against Man City and Liverpool. Everyone else, I'm disappointed if we don't win, and I'm disappointed today. So yeah, that's it. 2-week winter break for us, Man United that is. Of course, the league is now going to be split. 5 teams playing next week and 5 the week after. So we'll see some match reviews depending on how the fixtures falls from myself and Ramon. And I'll see you lot soon. Drop your likes, or hit the like button. Drop your comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the game, Bruno Fernandes' performance, and the top 4 race as it sits. Make sure you share the video, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon.